Let me ask you something. What if I told you that learning English did not just change my career? It changed my identity. What if I told you that there was a time when I was afraid to speak one English sentence? And today, people call me doctor. Not because I was the smartest. Not because I was rich. Not because life was easy. But because I refused to quit. This is not a motivational speech. This is my life. This is the story of how English changed everything. Listen carefully. Because if you are learning English, this story is also about you. Part 1, Where I Came From. I was born in a small town. Not a famous city. Not a place with big opportunities. Just a quiet town where everyone knew everyone. My parents were hard-working people. They believed in education. But they did not speak English. At school, English was just another subject. A textbook. Some grammar rules. Some difficult words. Nobody told us that English could change our life. For me, English was scary. When the teacher asked questions in English, my heart started beating fast. My hands became cold. My mind went blank. I knew the answer. But I couldn't say it. I was afraid of making mistakes. Part 2, The Dream of Becoming a Doctor. From a young age, I wanted to become a doctor. I saw doctors as heroes. They saved lives. They gave hope. They made families smile again. I studied science with passion. Biology. Chemistry. Physics. I worked hard. But there was one silent enemy. English. Medical books were in English. Exams were in English. Lectures were in English. Everywhere I turned, English was waiting. And I was not ready. Part 3, The First Failure. I still remember my first medical entrance test. I studied for months. But when the exam paper came, the English questions froze me. Not because I didn't know science, but because I couldn't understand the language clearly. That day, I failed. Not just the exam. I failed myself. I went home and locked my room. I asked myself one question. Am I really smart enough for this? Part 4, The Realization. That night changed my life. I realized something important. English was not my enemy. My fear was. English was just a tool. A bridge. And I was standing on the wrong side. I made a promise to myself. I will learn English. Not perfectly, but bravely. The first step, speaking alone. I started very small. I talked to myself in English. In the mirror. While walking. While cooking. Simple sentences. My name is. I am studying. Today I feel. At first, it felt strange. I made mistakes. I forgot words. But something amazing happened. My fear became smaller. Part 6, Learning Through Listening. I listen to English every day. Podcasts. Stories. Interviews. I didn't understand everything. But I didn't stop. I trained my ears. Language is music. Before speaking, you must listen. Slowly, English stopped sounding foreign. Part 7, Reading Like a Doctor. Medical books were hard. Very hard. But I changed my method. I didn't try to understand every word. I focused on meaning. I read slowly. I reread sentences. I wrote simple explanations. English stopped being a wall. It became a door. Part 8, Thinking in English. One day, something strange happened. I started thinking in English. Not full sentences. Just ideas. Words came faster. My brain was adapting. This is when learning becomes living. Part 9, Medical College, the real test. I finally entered medical college. I was proud. But scared. Everyone spoke English. Some students were confident. Some spoke fluently. I felt small. But I remembered my promise. Brave, not perfect. Part 10, My first presentation. We had to give a presentation in English. My hands were shaking. My voice was low. But I spoke. I made mistakes. But I finished. And something incredible happened. People clapped. Not because my English was perfect. But because I tried. Part 11, Clinical Rotations and Real Life. In hospitals, English became real. Patient files. Medical terms. Senior doctors. I had no choice. I had to communicate. And practice creates progress. Every day, I improved a little. Part 12, Moments of Doubt. There were nights I wanted to quit. I felt tired. I felt behind. But I remembered why I started. Dreams don't disappear. They wait. Part 13, Breakthrough Moment. One day, a senior doctor asked me a question. I answered calmly. In English. Clearly. He nodded. That moment. I knew. I was changing. Part 14, Becoming a Doctor. Graduation day came. White coat. Degree in hand. My parents cried. Not because of English. But because I didn't give up. Part 15, Life after Success. English opened new doors. Conferences. Research. International learning. But the biggest change was inside me. Confidence. Part 16, Lessons for You. If you are learning English, remember this. You don't need talent. You need courage. Mistakes are proof you're trying. English is not your weakness. It's your key. Part 17, Closing Message for All. I was once silent. Afraid. Now, I speak. Not perfectly. But freely. If I can do it, so can you. Your story is waiting. Start speaking. Part 18, The Struggle Nobody Saw. People see the success. They see the white coat. They see the title doctor. But they don't see the invisible battles. There were days when I sat in class and understood nothing. The teacher spoke fast. The slides were full of English words. I wrote notes without understanding them. I went back to my room and cried quietly. Not because I was weak, but because I felt alone. And this is something I want you to understand. When you are learning English, loneliness is normal. You feel like everyone is moving forward. And you are standing still. But you are not behind. You are just learning at your own speed. Part 19, The Shame of Mispronunciation. One day, during rounds, I pronounced a medical word incorrectly. A few students laughed. My face became hot. I wanted the ground to open and swallow me. That moment hurt. But later that night, I thought deeply. I asked myself, should I stop speaking because of fear? Or keep speaking because of growth? The answer was clear. I chose growth. The next day, I spoke again. Yes, I still made mistakes. But something changed. The fear lost power over me. Part 20: How English Changed My Thinking. Before learning English, I thought in limits. I can't. I'm not good enough. This is too hard. English exposed me to new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of thinking. I listened to doctors from other countries. I watched interviews. I read stories of struggle and success. English didn't just teach me words. It taught me possibility. Part 21: Learning English Without Pressure. I stopped forcing myself. Instead of saying, I must be fluent, I said, I will improve today. Just today. One podcast. One article. One conversation. And that is my advice to you. Don't chase perfection. Chase progress. Part 22: Talking to Patients in English. During internship, I met patients from different backgrounds. Some spoke English. At first, I was nervous. But then I realized something beautiful. Patients don't want perfect English. They want honesty. They want care. They want clarity. I spoke slowly. I used simple words. And they understood. Communication is not about showing intelligence. It's about building trust. Part 23: When English Took Me Beyond Borders. Later in my journey, English gave me opportunities one never imagined. Online courses from international universities. Medical journals. Global discussions. I realized something powerful. English is not a subject. It is a passport. Part 24: The Mental Shift. The biggest change was not external. It was inside my mind. I stopped seeing myself as someone who struggles. I started seeing myself as someone who learns. That shift changed everything. If you tell yourself every day, I'm bad at English, your mind believes it. But if you say, I'm improving every day, your mind starts working for you. Part 25: How Storytelling Helped Me Learn. I didn't memorize vocabulary lists. I learned through stories, movies, real-life experiences, people's journeys. Stories make language alive. That's why you are listening to this now. Because stories stay. Grammar rules fade. But stories remain in your heart. Part 26: Consistency over motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel excited. Some days you feel tired. But consistency is quiet. It shows up even when you don't feel like it. 10 minutes a day for 1 year is powerful. Don't underestimate small effort. Part 27: Talking to my old self. Sometimes I imagine talking to my younger self. The scared student. The silent learner. I would say, you are not stupid. You are not weak. You are just learning. And I want to say the same to you. Part 28: Why I share this story. I'm not sharing this to impress you. I'm sharing this to remind you. Your current level is not your final level. English doesn't belong to native speakers. It belongs to learners who don't quit.